Hello everyone and welcome to Walking Through Wilson. On this episode, we'll be talking with the Director of Elections for Wilson County, Phillip Warren, to find out how his office is preparing for the 2020 elections and how you can get registered. And we've all heard about free or discounted lunches for students during the school year, but hunger is all year. Pam McPeak joins us to fill us in on how one program is aimed at feeding Wilson County children all summer. I'm Becky Andrews and it's time for Walking Through Wilson. Administrator of Elections for Wilson County, Phillip Warren. Welcome, Phillip.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming in today. This is a big issue. You have a big job because Wilson County is one of the fastest growing counties in the state. So how is your job? You've been doing this for 8 years?
Right.
Tell everybody what your job entails.
Well, anything to do with elections.
Okay.
From administering elections is everything from registering people to vote to the actual day you come and vote. One day you get to see us every 2 or 3 years, every 2 years. And you're right, the county has grown quite a bit. In 2011, we were registering about 350 new registrations a month, people moving in. We're up to over 800 a month now.
Oh, wow.
In just 8 years. So there's a huge difference in the number of people that are.
How long has that 800 number been going? I mean, has it just...
We just average them once a year
Okay.
and take the other years in with it. So it's over the last year. So we had 1 month before the 18 election was over 1,200.
Oh, wow.
So it really expands when you get closer to an election.
Well, and it's promising too because people are out there voting.
That's
There are
right.
that many
That's what we want them to do. Not just register, but show up.
So tell us a little bit more about your position and how it's evolved over the years, because I know you used to just have a couple of people working there, correct?
Well, when I came in 2011, my predecessor had 6. There were 6 full-time people and 2 part-time. We've changed that. I've got an assistant, Tammy Smith, who's also a state certified administrator of elections. So we're the only county in Tennessee with 2 state certified administrators. We've reduced the staff to only 4 of us, counting the 2 of us. We've got 2 other staff members now, no part-time. But that's through the use of technology and procedures and just operational changes that have come over the years. And they do quite well keeping up.
Yeah. Now, what about during election season? I noticed there's a lot of new faces up there, or some familiar faces.
There are.
But so during election season, are those volunteers, or do you just have to?
They are the most wonderful people in Wilson County. That's
Yes.
who they are.
Yes.
We have about 350 poll workers that work early voting and on election day that we train every 2 years or in periods over those 2 years that work during those periods. They're not volunteers, they get paid. It's a small amount of money. It's not enough that you could do it as a full-time job or often enough for a full-time job. But they are probably some of the most civic-minded, patriotic, wonderful people. They're what make elections great in Wilson County.
They are always super
are.
nice and friendly. Now, you mentioned that you and your assistant, Tammy Smith,
Right.
you guys are certified election administrators, is that correct?
That's correct.
And we're the only county in the state of Tennessee that has that?
That has 2.
That has 2? So
Right.
why is that? And I mean...
Well, Tammy was a certified administrator. To be an administrator of elections in Tennessee, you have to be certified by the state, and that's like taking a mini bar exam, which I'll never want to do again.
Oh.
And she was administrator in Macon County, brought her children down here to Wilson County to go to school, so I got really lucky, and she got hired in Wilson County.
And how does
So
that
a
benefit
terrific team.
Well, how does that benefit the people of Wilson County, the voters of Wilson County, having 2 of you guys up there?
Well, anytime you got 2 people collaborating that know what's going on,
good.
and somebody as detailed as she is, it makes for a wonderful operation.
That's wonderful.
It does.
So you have 4 full-time people, you have some staff that help out.
We have 2 others besides us. There are 4
Right.
total.
And you
Right.
have the people that come in and help out with elections.
Right.
And elections, I mean, what do you expect out of 2020?
Another great year.
Another great year?
Right, we want a terrific turnout. The first election's in March. That's the presidential preference primary and also the Republican primary. Then we have the county election in August and the state and federal primaries. And in November is the presidential election, the one that everybody's going to hear about, starting to hear about it now.
But we really should be focusing on these local elections too, not just focusing on that.
I think so too. There's
Right.
a lot that goes on. The local elections, we go to high schools. We probably do 20, 25 high school elections each year in Wilson County with their homecoming courts, their school.
Just keeping everybody informed.
Right, all
Yeah.
that. But we talk about the local elections quite a bit. And that's who pays the teachers and who builds the schools and who keeps the
who
roads and who
affects us
provides the
directly.
jobs. That's right.
Right,
And we
right.
generally see a lower turnout for the August election than we do for the federal election in
right.
November.
Right.
But we'd like to see that increase.
Now, how many do you know how many registered voters we have right now currently?
We have about 84,000 eligible voters in Wilson County.
Now, of that number, how many voted in our last election? I'm sure some of them weren't registered at the time, but do you?
We had about 58,000 vote.
Okay.
We have a really good turnout in Wilson County.
Now, is
Really
that
good
about
at this.
average for?
It was a little bit high. That
little
was
bit high?
for a midterm, non-presidential. It was a record for the
Oh,
county.
wow.
In 2016, when we had the last presidential election, there was 61,000.
Now, are there any new things coming up that you'd like to tell people about? I know we have tons of people moving in here from out of state
We
that
do.
will be. How do you reach out to them? How do you connect with them?
We've tried a lot of ways,
Mm-hmm.
but anything we can do. This is a big part of it. What you're doing here is helping a whole lot with that. We do it in the newspapers. We do it through flyers. We try to get the information out everywhere that you need to register to vote, and do it before the 30. It's always 30 days before an election is the cutoff period, and we'd really like you to do it before that.
Right, of course.
And that way you get to vote in that election. But inevitably there are people that don't.
What about social media? Do you guys use?
We do. We've got a
social media?
Facebook page. Of course, our website is full of information, just about anything you want to know about an election, election history, what we do, how we do it is on our website at wilsonvotes.com.
Okay.
And now, Tennessee, since September of 17, I think it was 17, they started online voter registration, which is the easiest way to register. So whoever comes into Tennessee, if they move here from another county, from another state, or just across the county, can go online, go to our website, click on the button, complete the form, submit it, and they're registered to vote or change their address from the convenience of their home.
Yes. And
That's
that
a
makes
great way to do it.
That does make it so much easier.
It does. It does.
And now, if you want to early vote, which I highly recommend.
Me too.
If you're in Wilson County, is there only one place to early vote, and that is the main election?
In the past elections, we've had 5 locations.
Okay.
We have one at Lighthouse Church in Old Hickory. We've got one at Charlie Daniels Park in Mount Juliet, Gladeville Community Center in Gladeville, Watertown Community Center, and then our office here in Lebanon.
Oh, so
And they're
many
open
places.
20 days before every election through 5 days before every election, and it's the most convenient way. Traditionally, Wilson County voters are taking advantage of that.
Yes.
In 2016, 73% of the people that voted early,
Oh, wow.
which is wonderful.
That is wonderful.
You
That
can
is
go when the
wonderful.
sun's shining.
Well, I want to ask you more about all of this. We're going to be back in just a minute, and we're going to pick up where we left off.
Wonderful.
We're back with Phillip Warren. You are the Administrator of Elections for Wilson County. Thank you again for coming back with us.
Thank
We've
you.
got a lot to cover.
We have.
Now, we were just talking about during the break we've got some young voters, we've got a lot of new voters, but you also said something interesting that we've got new voters that are a little bit older too,
We
first
do.
elections. Isn't
And
that great?
We look forward to those people coming. And early voting is a great time for them to come and come in and see us, and we'll take their picture when they get through and say, this is the first time I voted, it's my first time. We used to do it for 18-year-olds. And I mean, when they come in and somebody says, is this your first time? They clap for them, the voters do, the poll workers do, and then we get their picture. And it's just a really important time because you can only be a first-time voter one time.
Yeah.
And we want to memorialize that because that's a big deal.
It is a big deal,
But we've
especially
had-
for 18-year-olds to get
Absolutely.
out. Yeah.
And we've had people that in the last elections have come in to vote, registered for the first time. In fact, in 16, we had 2, both of them were 72 years old.
And they were first-time voters.
They were first-time voters.
Wow.
Right.
That's great.
But whatever you start voting
Yeah.
is a great time to do it.
Yeah.
And we want to make sure we know that.
Yes.
And congratulate you.
Well, you guys are obviously doing a good job getting these people out there too. There's Election Institute. Tell me about that. We were kind of talking about elections. Tell me what that is.
Well, it's kind of like what we're doing right now. What
Mm-hmm.
you need to know more about what elections are, what's behind the scenes. We read a lot in the newspapers. We see a lot on television. We hear a lot of things at the coffee shop about this and that about elections and how they're run or how they're not run, or the rumor is rampant.
Right.
And
So you
information
explain
is
the
questionable.
nuances of it.
We'll take people through, and we did this. We had our inaugural one in April of this year. It was great. We had a 4-week class. We're probably going to cut that down to a 1-day, more intense class because the people that are part of this are busy, and to come 4 weeks and sit through that is hard. So we're going to maybe condense it and give more people opportunity to come through. But you get the behind the scenes look at everything from registration to setting up machines to the financial side with the candidates, all the way to how we train poll workers and what they do.
And
so we go through the whole process.
And that's how many people were in that inaugural class?
I think we had 22 in that class. Yeah, we can handle about 30 in our classroom.
Okay.
And in our facility.
And is that at the Election Commission office?
Well, we've got an
Lebanon?
annex here in town with a training room,
Okay.
and it's where we do our storage and maintenance, and we do it there because we have all the audio
Who signs up for
visuals.
those? Is that open to the public?
Anyone,
Okay.
anyone interested. And what it does, it'll give you, like I said, the behind the scenes look so you really understand what you read.
Right.
And I think it's very important that sometimes we read things that, and if you don't know all the rest of the story, sometimes the main story doesn't make as much sense. So we want people to understand, and we want to show too, in Wilson County, how we protect the integrity of every vote cast.
Right. Well, and social media is really,
It is.
That's kind of changed everything for elections. I think since 2008, it's
It
really
has.
just changed things. So this is good that you're doing that. Now, how you can accommodate 20 people?
About 30.
About 30. And are you going to try to do this twice a year, or?
Right now, this is
You're trying to recover from the last one.
Yes, this is a non-election year. We learned a lot in that one of what to do and what not to do. I think we had a great class. So it's good. We hope to do it 2 more times this year before 2020. Probably won't get around to it in 2020.
so, yeah.
But this will be an opportunity for some more people to take advantage of this and learn more about elections and get involved with us on that level.
And again, tell me how they sign up. If they're interested in it, tell me again. Do they call you guys?
They do. They can call
Okay.
us. It'll be available. We'll have a banner on our website that they can click on and fill out the form. We'll of course advertise it in the paper and other places
Okay.
when the time comes. We haven't set a date yet, but just kind of keep
But
an
it'll
eye
be
out.
all day. It won't be a 4-week.
Yes, it'll be a one day. What we decided to do is a one day, probably a Saturday.
Okay.
And just do it that one day and just condense it, and you
Yeah.
get a whole lot of information in a hurry, and you'll sleep real well that night.
Yeah, that'll be good. And 18, I guess you have to be 18 years old.
No, you don't have to be.
Okay, all
It's
right.
anybody's interested. We encourage people. Matter of fact, we do a lot of high school elections. Go and talk to a lot of civics classes at high schools. And in Tennessee, if you're 17, you could work elections. And we traditionally in elections, I think in 2016 or 2018, we had more than 40 students working the polls on election day. It's a great opportunity for students to get volunteer hours for Tennessee Promise or Tennessee Scholars, and have a civic responsibility too, and work the polls and really get used to it.
And kind of learn the insides and outs
That's
of
right.
all
So
of
it's a
that,
great
too.
opportunity. So we welcome younger people to come in because we want this to
Probably
become
teach
a
your parents
tradition.
something too.
That's right. That's right. It might encourage them to go vote more often.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Okay, and then volunteers. Speaking of,
Yes.
you said you have a lot of high school students that volunteer. What about volunteers in the community? How do you guys need more volunteers?
Well, it's always, like I said, it's not volunteers. I mean, you actually get paid a little bit, and you can
Now,
volunteer.
do you
We always do. We're
Okay.
always recruiting. People that are just interested in knowing more about that can go on our website and read about the different jobs. But probably the best thing to do would just be fill out the application. It's submitted online, submit it to us, and we'll be in touch, believe me. We stay in touch with our poll workers, and we keep them busy and informed. They're probably the most informed as far as elections are in the county, because they're the ones that understand it and the ones that they're talking about it every day. So we're always welcoming new people, anybody that's interested.
And tell me the building. I mean, the building that you guys are located, the main building, Wilson County Elections, is one of my favorites. It was the old post office.
It was.
Now, I really think that we should visit you guys one day.
I hope you will.
And like tour the building. You can show us all around. It's gorgeous. They just don't make them like that anymore, do they?
No, they don't. That's all concrete. Floors, walls,
Everything.
ceilings. Cost $52,000 in 1915 to build it. $52,000.
Wow, can you imagine though? I mean, that
Yeah.
was like,
It was a lot of money.
yeah, but it's still standing.
That's right, and it will continue to stand. It's actually got a fallout shelter under it.
Really?
Yeah, it's designated a fallout shelter.
Oh, wow.
That's the oldest public building in Wilson County,
Okay.
and we were so glad to get that, be able to restore that in 2011, back to a lot of it what its original form, and be able to use it for our office.
Well,
And for early voting, it's a great place. We try to add some history to the lobby at each election, so people have something new to look at as they're standing and getting ready to come in and vote.
Right.
Because we're really proud of that old building.
oh,
It's
I would
part
be
of the
too.
heritage.
I would be too. Now, is there anything else that you'd like to tell the voters of Wilson County how to things are going to change, if anything's going to change this year.
Oh, there's
coming up.
always something
Just
exciting.
keep a look at your Facebook
That's
page,
right.
social
Watch
media.
social media, watch
Right.
the Facebook page. We have on our website, you can sign up for voter news. That'll get you some of the news as it comes out that
Okay.
maybe doesn't make the papers, or if you don't read the papers. Watch this channel.
All
I hope we
right.
do more here.
Yes, we do too. Thank you so much for
Thank
joining
you.
us. And I'm going to get my youngest to do that volunteer
That'll be
thing for
great.
his Tennessee
It'll
Promise.
get those hours in.
I know,
That's
Tennessee
right.
Scholar. Thank you again for
Thank
coming
you.
in. We really appreciated it.
Thanks, Becky.
All right, thanks.